It has been many years since that fateful day. Aku returned to take over the world. We have become enslaved.
I will not fail you, Father! Aku! With the power of this sword, I will vanquish Aku. I must return to my own time.
Samurai Jack, a new series movie premiere. Tonight at 7. Brought to you with limited commercial interruption by the world of Bionicle from Lego. Cartoon Network now presents the Samurai Jack special movie premiere, shown with limited commercial interruption. Samurai Jack, the legend begins now. Samurai Jack will return on Cartoon Network. Samurai Jack now returns on Cartoon Network.
My name is Gendy Tartakovsky. I'm the creator, supervisor, producer, director of Samurai Jack for Cartoon Network. After doing Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls, I really wanted to do something different. I love action and I love action shows. You really don't get enough action. I have never seen a cartoon that has enough action to satisfy me. Well, the show's called Samurai Jack, and the show is about a samurai who's fighting this evil, shape-shifting wizard named Aku back in the past. And before he has a chance to destroy him, the wizard tricks him and sends him into the future. Well, Jack is our hero. He's stoic, he's very heroic, he's a great warrior, but he's very sympathetic. He's not invulnerable. Ah! He loses. You know, weaknesses make the character stronger. He studies with Robin Hood, Japanese seamen. He studies with Shaolin monks, Greek wrestlers, Egyptian scholars, and it's just something very mythological about him. So then once he gets into the future, he meets these three guys. They just witness Jack doing all these flips and he's landing and he's doing all this samurai stuff. And they go, yo, what's up, Jack?
Jack! Jack, what's up?
Jack!
Yo, Jack!
Jack!
And then later on, somebody asks him, what do we call you? And he goes,
They call me Jack.
and so the other characters is Aku, and Aku is just pure evil.
I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness. My evil is wrong.
Even though he's very evil and creepy, he's very appealing. So the future is very unhappy. Everybody's miserable. Everybody's under the grasp of Aku. This is the pitch of the rough storyboard. We don't write scripts. We go from a short little outline, and the storyboard guys write the script, and they do it visually. That makes a big difference of how the picture comes out.
My name's Chris Riccardi, and I'm a storyboard artist. It helps if, like, the director and the other people are in the room are going to work on it, because then they get an idea of how it's really going to play. This is an episode where Jack is a gladiator, and we start out in this big arena, and you hear the announcer going, "Welcome to the Dome of Doom. No victory is too small. No wound is too great. No weapon is illegal." And this big guy steps in the shot.
Prepare to suffer 2 sandals of treacherous. I'll hang you like laundry.
And the announcer's like, "Oh, well,
I will put a hurting on you, slave."
Jack's really disgusted with this guy. Jack says, "A true warrior fights not with words, but with boom!" And he hits him right in the head. Jack falls down. Oh, he stumbles back, hits the wall, shakes his head, and then here's where the fight begins. And then this whole scene follows.
So the goal of the show was to do a highly stylized action show. All of the characters have big eyes, and they're very expressive. If you look at cartoons, every character has a black outline around them. But for us, we took the line completely off. So if it's a white robe, you just see the white shape. You see no line work around it.
Jack is a main character, and then there's incidentals. And the incidentals are just new characters that just go with a brand new story. And I still draw by hand. If I need to be inspired, I'll use anything. If a pencil isn't working, I'll use pen. I'll use anything, except for sticks. I don't use sticks. Leave the trees alone, yeah.
The background for this show in general is a huge character. And I get really fortunate to hire two great artists, Dan Krall, who designs the backgrounds, and Scott Wills, who paints the backgrounds.
The drawings are actually drawn by hand with a pencil and sometimes a pen and not on a computer. We try to make the background a really influential part of the show. It kind of brings the background to the foreground. It's a real character. I mostly do the black and white drawings. Sometimes if I'm doing pre-production artwork for the storyboard artists, if a color idea comes to me, I'll put it in just for reference later on. And, you know, we'll employ perspective here and there where it's necessary, but then in the rest of the background, we'll sort of throw it out the window. One of the things I think that gives the show a really interesting look is when we're drawing the backgrounds, I try to give them a real flat, sort of a surreal look. The person who takes the black and white drawings and paints them is Scott Wills.
I get the black and white line drawing from layout, then I transfer it onto board and paint it. I add all the color, real delicate line work that very hard to do in computer, so it just looks really nice by hand. I think this overall is just a softer, more muted look, but there are areas of real intense color at the same time. This show is particularly challenging because every episode is so different, and even the style changes. So the colors change from show to show, the techniques change. We don't seem to ever repeat anything, which is great creatively, but it's also a lot of work. It's not just art, it really works with the story, and it really enhances the story.
I'm Phil Lamar, and I play Samurai Jack. After talking with Gindi about the feel, eventually we sort of settled into this young Asian Clint Eastwood.
No matter what form you take, Aku, you will never defeat the side of righteousness.
My name is Mako, and I'm playing the part of Aku, which in Japanese means evil. Truly bad, you know. His voice is very low. I do believe it's from the lower part of your stomach, you know. Lower, lower, and I can't go any lower. It comes from my soul. Fool! No mortal can hurt the great Aku. But what has been very interesting for me about this is that these voice actors, to be this good and this dedicated to your craft, so wonderfully good and amazingly good, you know. So in that sense, it's almost like reliving my boyhood once more.
So I really wanted to do this show based upon feel. And with the music, it's all going to enhance that, because we're taking old themes and we're putting a little bit more hip-hop and techno with it. So it's like this world beat, new music type of thing, you know. The music is done by this guy named Jim Venable.
I'm the composer on Samurai Jack. My job is to write the music that goes underneath the action and or dialogue that sort of sets a tone for the show. Samurai Jack is going to be going to all these different worlds, and each world, while it's in the future, will have sort of the tone of different ethnicities. Our approach is to try to get into the characters and use the emotions of the characters to drive the music. That opens up this whole palette of electronic sounds, sounds that aren't of this world, so to speak. We'll start adding things like synthesizers and electronic sounds to those elements, and they'll start merging and creating sort of Samurai Jack's futuristic sound. We end up with sort of a hybrid style that's way beyond a traditional orchestra.
I mean, sound effects are a huge, huge part, especially in this show. Sound effects, of course, enhance everything, and without them, when swords hit and cut, it doesn't sound like anything. So they bring life to the movement and to the action. Sometimes I'll have no music and let the sound effects run an emotion. The show's for everybody. It has comedy, it has action, it has adventure, and kind of all of those things combined.
I don't think it's limited to just the young generation. The adults could enjoy, you know.
I saw some of the first animation. There's all of this action and amazing things happening. I was excited before, but this was beyond anything I could have imagined.
From show to show, you will never guess where it's going. It's going to be the most unique and different experience you've had watching a cartoon. And hopefully people will really feel like this is a real new mythology and that they want to follow the legend.
I will not fail you, Father!
This is not your only chance to see the special movie premiere of Samurai Jack. Catch the encore presentation tomorrow morning at 10, right here on Cartoon Network.